What's going on, guys? Groovy Guy Matt here, giving you another reissue from our hot take reel. On this one, we talk about a pretty divisive band. I think you either fall into one category. You either love them or you hate them. And that band in question is U2. Get ready for a pretty explosive episode because Dan goes absolutely nuclear in this one. Enjoy.
U2, yes or no?
Oh, good one.
I like this one.
Wow.
All right.
So how are we starting it off?
I'll start. Here we go. U2. Oh, am I frozen? I feel like I'm frozen.
No, we got you.
Okay.
We got you.
We can hear you.
We got
All
you.
right. I'll start us off. U2, Joshua Tree, amazing. Everything else, garbage.
Everything?
Everything else.
Yeah,
Joshua
I was
Tree
gonna say, I don't know
album,
if I agree with that.
fire.
That's a hot take.
Oh my God, I love it. I remember hearing that for like the first time and being like, oh my God, this band's amazing. Went to the next album, was like, I wish nothing else came out by them. I wanted them to be a one record band, fall into
the
like
stuff before.
I know, but that album, amazing. Everything else, I can't even name it. I don't care. It was like poison to my ears. But that album is so good.
Do you know what I love about this? You didn't sit on the fence at all.
No offense sitting for you too.
That was very, very strong.
So I gotta ask. So I agree. Joshua Tree, masterpiece. You can't even appreciate the edge guitar playing. Like, is it just like nothing for you after that album, or do you like any of the musicianship, the writing, and any lyrics, or you're just done?
I'm done. I don't like the Edge. I don't like Bono.
Why don't you like the Edge?
I find his guitar playing like contrary. I don't know. He doesn't seem like natural or like poised. He seems too like rigid and calculated. There's that documentary where they're all sitting on stage.
It might get loud.
Yeah.
It might get loud.
Yeah.
One of my
And I remember
favorites.
watching it and feeling like I knew it. I knew he's like not a fraud, but like even like Jack White was up there and just killing it. And the Edge couldn't even like keep up. He couldn't even get his mind around what was happening. Couldn't even turn his amp on, in my opinion. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
Chris, he ruined that documentary.
Yeah, right. It made me feel uncomfortable. Like I remember my stomach falling out, like being like, I don't want to watch. I haven't watched it since. I remember watching it the first time and then being like, I feel like dirty after. I don't know why.
I actually think having him in the documentary was the masterstroke of that documentary because he is the only thing that creates tension in that film because the other two are the same. Like I'm not giving my hot take about the Edge or U2 yet, but he's so different to Plant to Page and White.
Here's my hot take on that documentary. You couldn't have picked 3 worst characters for that documentary.
That's what made it so fun.
I hate it. I hate that documentary. I think it's
Really?
terrible. I think it's garbage.
I like Jack White. I like Jack White, but
Jack White is so entertaining.
That's another
What
topic.
a hot take.
Yeah.
That's another hot take, yeah. Well, we already know what my hot take is on that. Can't be hot take.
Matt, U2, yes or no?
So I'm gonna go with yes, but again, there's albums of theirs I don't really care for, and then there's albums that I do like. Like Joshua Tree, All Day, Every Day. Recently picked it up on vinyl, as I showed you guys in the group. How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. That's another one that sticks out in my mind. Those are go-tos for me. One of their compilations, U218. There's not a song on there I don't like. I don't know. For me, I do like parts of their discography, and then others I could take and leave. But I do appreciate Edge as a guitar player because at that time, I feel like he was very innovative. I like that he has a whole guitar rig. As I think he calls it the brain or whatever. I can't remember the exact name of it. I do think it's pretty cool, and he's able to play on top of everything, which I do think is pretty innovative.
So douchey. He's so douchey.
I know a lot of people have an opinion on them, and like in regard to like their personalities, how they carry themselves, how they're perceived in like I know that they do a lot of work with charities and not wildlife, but like humanitarian work and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people do kind of view them as a little prestigious. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to comment on it.
Let's talk about the music. Just music.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we're here for, is to talk about the music. So no, I say yes to U2.
So I think with U2, it's not about they've made it not about the music, right? They're like Kiss, where they've like taken themselves. Yes, they're about the music, which is why like Joshua Tree, it was about the music, and then after that, it turned into like Bono wearing like $500 sunglasses or $5,000 sunglasses, or like him like the Edge being like the best guitar player and having like this rig that he carries around and everything has to be perfect. They went for the pop star attitude towards rock starism, and that was something that I kind of.
I appreciate that, but let's forget this is about the music.
I know, but that's why I don't.
Don't
like
let your feelings about that dictate how you like or dislike their music.
But it does, though. But there, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. I always find these hard, like a yes or no. I'm gonna say yes, but yes, but not recently is the way I would characterize my experience of U2. And do you know what's funny? My introduction to U2 was actually 90s U2. So Zeropa and Achtung Baby. And I actually really like Achtung Baby. I don't know if it's just because that was my first, like, and I think it was on cassette. I think my dad had them both on cassette. And Achtung Baby, I was obsessed with that album. I listened to it a lot in the 90s. But then Joshua Tree, of course, like a masterpiece. But also, I was surprised, Chris, when you said only Joshua Tree, because for me, War and The Unforgettable Fire are also really strong albums. Not Joshua Tree strong, but Sunday Bloody Sunday is probably my all-time favorite U2 track, and that's from War, obviously. So I feel like maybe post 90s for me, it's less of a yes and getting closer to a no. But my initial, I loved U2 in the 90s, and I listened to them a lot, and they were a big band by then. But these days, if you ask me who my favorite Irish band is, and I know U2 are kind of international, they're sort of transcended just being an Irish band, but if I had to choose one Irish band to listen to, it's the Pogues.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, interesting.
Okay,
like
so
the
here's is it my turn for
Sure,
this
go.
hot take?
Yeah, there's no turns on hot take.
Here we go.
I'm a hard no.
Ooh.
Absolute hard no. Joshua
Good stuff.
Tree, garbage tier.
Oh,
Every other album, even worse garbage tier.
Whoa, what?
love it.
U2 has not done anything for the rock and roll scene except bring flash. The Edge is not a great guitarist. He's done nothing new that I haven't heard from people before him. And he has this insane, overly complicated setup that guys with an amp and a tube screamer can basically replicate. Like, he is not doing anything that dramatic to tell me that he's a great guitar player. And so to me, the reason why I think he ruined that documentary was I saw that rig and I was like, why the hell do you have 50 guitar pedals?
You need one.
It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not like, sure, you're coming up with like all these different sounds. That's awesome. Great. Like, good for you. But like, what have you actually done for guitar other than put pedals together and come up with these ridiculous sounds? Like, great.
He's not like Morello. Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, okay, like, sure, Tom Morello, but again, Tom Morello, it's a completely different genre of music that they basically created. Like, Rage Against the Machine is its own sound. U2, it's like, you can pick out a U2 song because of how garbage tier it actually is compared to the rest of music out there.
I've never heard this expression.
You know, like,
Big fan.
I'm just gonna quote South Park here and say, is Bono the biggest piece of crap in the world? like, is he actually made
Wow.
of
Well,
doo-doo?
keep it,
Like,
Dan.
This is
You told me, keep it to the music.
This is the hottest take.
Keep it to the
Well, I was
music.
not expecting this.
Yeah.
My hot take. I think U2 is trash. I've never listened to a song from them that I thought was, oh, this is great. This is something that is new. I don't understand how they're so big. I really don't get it. They're not for me. If they're for you, that's great. I always respect people's taste in music. I have a taste in music that people think is crazy sometimes. So I'm not one to judge on that. But for me, U2,
People
garbage.
This
follow
is
them
why
around.
it's a topic, right? Because it's divisive. This is why it's a hot take.
Yeah. But people follow them around. I know people that went like, who I thought had good taste in music, that would like travel around Europe and do their summer vacation based around like the European U2 tour. Like,
Oh God, they must be
Yeah, I'm not
just
doing
the
that.
worst people to hang around.
oh,
Taste
well,
is
he's a
subjective, though,
he's a
Chris.
horrible
When you
person.
say
No, he's
when
a
you
horrible
say
person.
people who
He's my
you thought
ex-boss.
had a good taste in music, taste is subjective.
Yeah, but he's just
For
a
sure.
terrible person, which I associate all YouTube fans with. Way to go, Carvalho.
Is Bono the biggest piece of crap in the world? That's
Dan.
a legitimate question.
Yeah, but like, even the lyrics, come on. Hello,
Shout out to Bono from U2,
yeah,
by the way.
hello, hola. I remember hearing that the first time and being like, seriously? Like, come on. Sum 41 writes better lyrics than that. Take it away, Matt.
All right, so I can respect what you guys are saying. I love guitar pedals, and if you look at a lot of modern rigs, a lot of guitar players travel around live shows. They've got like 50 plus pedals with them. They've got 4 different amp heads. You know, I can understand it's a little excessive, but I am a fan of that. So that's my take on that.
Love it.
But man, I was not expecting this. This is pretty funny.
Yeah, I love it. Big
Listen,
fan.
I have a lot of respect. I love experimenters. I love it. But the reason why I just don't respect where Bono's going with it is that he just makes a point to be like, oh, someone came out with a new guitar pedal, better grab that, better tweak with every single setting on it and make a sound out of it just because that's my thing.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my thing. My thing is to just make sounds. So it's like, okay, great. Like I respect that. I respect that that's your process on how to make music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the sound that you're making. I don't find it to actually be that unique. You could have probably gotten that sound with 2 other pedals instead of this one pedal that was made. Like that's the problem that I have with it. It's like you've picked up this way to make music, and now that's your thing, and that's what you're known for, and you've leaned into it way too much. That it's getting a little bit overworked. It's getting a little bit. I don't know. It's getting diluted.
Okay, that's fair. I can respect that. And then kind of speaking to Tom Morello, we're talking about like 2 different worlds here.
Oh, God.
Edge is like we were saying, like the brainchild there with his whole rig, as opposed to Tom Morello, who's really a minimalist. He's like, I've got 5 or 4 pedals. I'm going to do whatever I can and maximize what I can with these 4 pedals or 5 pedals, however many he has. You know what I mean? And I do think he's also like beyond innovative at this point. That guy's done a million different things, a million different projects, and he finds a way to make everything sound unique and different. And one thing, and you kind of touched on it there, Dan, you can kind of pick out a U2 song or that signature sound in any of their songs. Like you hear something on the radio, even if you don't know what the song is, it's a U2 song just by the guitar tone. That is the one thing you could say, okay, you know what, that's unique to the band, for sure. I can also kind of respect a lot of what you just said there. Probably you could take a more a more minimalist approach or a smaller approach and come up with the same sound. I can respect that.
Cool. And this is slightly off topic, but I saw this interview with Morello where he was talking about how he came about that sound. And there was this, I guess, in the 90s, this idea that DJs would replace bands. Like DJs were the new thing, and bands were going to be guitars were going to be obsolete because everyone loved DJs. And so he just went, well, I'm going to make DJs obsolete by recreating that sound on my guitar.
So cool. I love everything he does.
And here's the beauty of it, right? Like you got a guy at the Edge who has 50 guitar pedals, a ridiculous amount of stacks, all the gear at his disposal. He can't come up with, and to me, I don't think the U2 has their own distinct sound. The only distinct sound is just the most irritable tone of Bono's voice. I don't think the Edge has a distinct guitar
And I
tone.
thought I came
don't
in.
think he can be like, that is the Edge. That is the Edge. It's his sound. Tom Morello probably has 3 or 4 pedals. He's probably got a wah pedal, a fuzz, a tube screamer. That's probably all he's rocking. Maybe a couple,
And an EQ to boost his volume.
reverb, an EQ boost, a chorus pedal, whatever. With just that small amount of rig, he came up with an actually distinct sound. He didn't need 50, 60 pedals, 3 different types of heads, 3 different whatever. Like he didn't need that. That's the thing. It's like the Edge just leaned way too into it. Still couldn't come up with his own unique sound. The only unique sound that they have is just the garbage tier screech of Bono's.
You're gonna have to be a bit clearer as to how you feel about U2.
Yeah, just
Okay.
a little bit.
I'm still confused.
All right,
You told me earlier in the episode not to swear, so it's like,
Oh, we've been swearing up a storm. Yeah.
you know, I said garbage tier, but I want to say dog shit tier.
Now, I love how this is supposed to be about U2, and this sums up the band as well. We just pushed them aside, like most people do, and talked about someone else, right? Like that's the perfect analogy about how I feel. And I thought I came in hot. Holy shit, Lozier came in on fire. But but no, that's the thing. It's like they're there, like, but they're just there.
Kudos to them, man.
Yeah,
kudos to them. They made an amazing career.
Yeah.
They have a lot of music that people love. They have a huge following. They have a lot of unique tracks. I have a lot of respect for what they've done. It's not for me. I don't like their sound.
Perfect.
I don't like their tone.
Amazing. Tom and Matt, finish us off, because I think we're going in circles that Lozier just hates this band so much.
So that's the reason I actually mentioned the Pogues, because they're another Irish band that have not got, they've got recognition, but not the level of recognition of U2, obviously. But they're a band that actually did push the boundaries. They took folk music and they made it punk.
Dude.
So if you're listening to this and you don't know the Pogues, do me a favor, go and listen to Rum, Sodomy, and The Lash, and then come back to me.
Okay, the Pogues, Flogging Molly, the Real Mackenzie, Stiff Little Fingers. We could go, like,
Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick. Like, I'm just listing some that I'm, like, Stiff Little Fingers, I just discovered, like, the last 2 years. Holy shit, that band's amazing. That's why I hate U2. It's, like, the Irish band. But, like, I can't remember
I didn't even know they were Irish until people told me.
Yeah, like, Stiff Little Fingers has a song called, like, Every Dollar a Bullet. I think it's called that. Anyway, that's one of the lines in the song. Holy crap, it's a powerful song about, like, the violence going on in Ireland. Like, they're actually talking about real things, not just screaming hello into a desert.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Matt.
Garbage.
End us off there, Matt.
Okay, first of all, I thought U2 was that big scram that broke out of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
That's funny.
Anyways, just a reference for Office fans. Secondly,
Shout out to The Office.
Yeah, one of the greatest shows of all time. Big fan. I'll reference it all day, every day. But I do like U2. I would love I'll be honest. They're one of the bands I want to see before they call it quits. Like, just because of the nostalgia and everything. I'm not planning my vacation or anything around them, though, by any means whatsoever. Like, if they come to Toronto, it works out, great. If not, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe I catch them another time.
What are you paying for tickets? What's your max out?
No more than $100.
No more than $100. Okay, that's fair.
Are you going to be able to get a
me
ticket?
$100 to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I'd stand outside and still be disappointed.
Yeah, boo outside the whole time.
Let's let Matt finish so we can wrap this episode up.
No, that was pretty much where I was going to go. I was just going to say, if I can see them, great. If not, it is what it is. I'll try to catch them at another time. But, no, I do enjoy their music, and that's my take.
Listen, don't think like I love the fact that you love U2. You probably come see some bands that I listen to. You'd be like, what the fuck was that, Dan? Like that is
No, I'm judging
but
Matt
see,
hard.
That's the thing is, I'll listen to just about anything, and if I vibe with it, great. If not, I do respect where they're coming from as artists. You know what I mean? Like everyone's got their own unique taste and style of music, and being an artist, you have to respect that. Like it's like you're an artist. You know, you're gonna get a positive and negative feedback, and you got to live with that, right?
absolutely, especially when you're at
Yeah, exactly. It's not an easy gig.
If you're gonna bring the fire, you better get ready to get fired down on you.
It's not an easy gig. Like you're dealing with criticism left and right, and you know, at the end of the day, you just hope that you can connect with people.
Yep.
Okay, well, that was the hottest of hot takes.
That was.
This is why we picked divisive subjects for Glenn, the hot take wheel. Anyone, final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Oh, quick one, because I think this will be fun and like keep it short and sweet. But just before we go, just to show different musical taste and how things used to be, first CD you ever bought. I'll start us off. Prozac, Hot Show. I think it was called Hot Show.
Love that.
Prozac. That was the first CD I ever bought.
Prozac's fun.
Lozie, what about you?
I think mine was Green Day Nimrod.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good one. That's way better than mine. Yeah.
Tom, what do you got?
I don't think I bought it, but Nirvana Nevermind was the first CD I owned.
Nice.
That's amazing.
That's a home run right there.
Yeah.
Actually, all three of those were really, really good. You guys are probably going to get a good chuckle out of this one, although I still like this band to this day. Hanson, Middle of Nowhere. First
amazing.
First CD I ever bought, and first cassette I ever bought.
Yo, that's so good.
Amazing.
That's unreal.
I saw them. It was funny. They did the Western Fair back in 2014 or 2015. They were part of the music that was playing in the evening. They came and did a free show one of the nights, along with the Trues was also there. Lights was there. They did a show as well. And they had new music that they were playing. I was like, oh shit, this is actually really good.
Oh.
I ended up buying one of their CDs there. It was really good.
Nice. That's
I like them. I'm sorry.
that's amazing.
Shout out to Hanson.
Yeah, shout
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
Oh man.
Hanson, if you're listening to this, I know you guys have a brewery that you guys have been working on.
Oh really?
Yes.
So feel free to send us some samples.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we'll name the hot take wheel after them.
Yes.
It'll be
We will
sponsored.
name the hot take the Bop hot take. Take it or leave it wheel.
The wheel is not for sale.
Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale.
Oh dear.
The Groovy Guys are Tom Kennedy, Dan Lozier, Chris Palumbo, and Matt Carvalho. With your host, Tom Kennedy. Music by Dan Lozier, post-production by Matt, and album art by Chris.